I'm Susan. Today I'm participating in the Crazy Craft Challenge and we get to paint with our hands. I'll take off my rings. I almost forgot. And it's hosted by Pam of the Paper Outpost and Luise Heinzl. And I watched their videos and they really look like they had a lot of fun. And I'm going to make it easy on myself a word to do 3 journaling cards. And I'm just going to use index cards, and I've already rounded the edges. So, let's get started. I used 2 different colors of red to begin with, but they weren't that different in shades. But I just put it on with my finger, and I realized I forgot to add my gesso, but it still was fine. And so I just keep adding on the different paints and just kind of smearing it together the best I can and just trying to come up with something. I get a 3rd color red and then I just start mixing it in as well. I decided to try a little black, but I at this point thought I had really done messed it up. And I keep at it. That's the thing with paint. You can always cover it over with more paint. So I just started mixing in the red and the black, and then I just started combining them, trying to find that color that I wanted. Like I said, I like the dark reds. I like all reds, but the dark reds is my favorite. And so I just keep playing with it, trying to get a decent background. While the first card dries, I decide to start on my next card. I used the gesso this time and it came out a lot faster than I had anticipated. So I just take both cards and I just cover them up with the gesso. Now I'm just going to dry my cards with my heat gun. And I just go ahead and I dry all of them. Now I decided to try using some stencils, and I used a brushed metal gold. And I love the gold. The gold looked good on the red, but I wasn't very good with the stencil, and I should have wiped off more of the paint before adding it to the stencil because it bled. But gold looks good anyway. I try blotting off a little bit of the excess. I decided to go ahead and try again stenciling in the bottom corner. I realized I had gotten some of the gesso on my red, so I just opted to go ahead and add more. And then I just went back and I just kind of smeared it in a little bit, just trying to make a good background. I take some more of the gold and I just go around the edges of the card. I also take a little more of the gesso and just kind of smear it over it, just trying to give it some dimension. And to be honest, at this point, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I kind of like it, but something's just not right. So I just decide to put it aside and move on to the next card. On this card, if you remember, it's already been covered with gesso. And I just get a lilac color and I just go across the card just sporadically, not giving it full coverage. I decided to try to do the same thing with a green, just trying to blend in the colors. Now I add in some blue. and some yellow. Now I was going to add in a different gold that I have, but it just didn't work out very good, and I wasn't really happy with it. So I end up going back with brushed metal. I like this a lot better. Now I decided it needs some black speckles, and so I decided to put my thumb and my pointer finger and I just tap it together, and it really gave good size. It worked a lot better than I thought. And anytime I needed like one of the bigger size dots, I would just dip my finger in there and barely touch the paper, not with my finger, but just with the paint. But I liked that so well, I started adding the brushed metal on that, and I just kept at it until I was happy with the way it looked. So I decided if it worked for that card, I was going to add some more of that gold onto my red card. And so that's what I did. I also decided to speckle black paint as well. I get a little bit of the white paint as well, and I speckled that all over my picture. And I really think that kind of brought it all together. For my third car, which has been painted with gesso as well, I just add little drops of different color blues and just kind of rub my finger across it and smear it just to give that look that's not one solid color. Once I got it to where I'm happy with it, it kind of reminded me of a stormy night. I take some more of that white paint and I just speckle it across the card as well. Now I have a brushed metal silver, and I try to speckle it across, but the brushed metal just didn't speckle on this, at least the silver didn't speckle quite as well as the white did. I rub a little bit of it in the left top corner and the right bottom corner, and I speckled a few more, and I did get a little bit of a result. So after this, I just let everything dry. Now my cards are dry, and I back it with some coffee dyed paper that I had, and I just glue it on with art glitter glue and just press it down, give it good coverage, and then I cut it out. I glue any edges that need to be glued before continuing on. Now I work on adding my focal points, and I distress the edges of my cards and the flowers that I'm using and the Tim Holtz people that I'm using. And I do distress the front and the back. And you'll notice with the red, I had to play with it a little bit until I was happy with it. I end up putting it aside before coming back to it. But I'm just going to let you watch what I do and I'll be back. And here's how they all turned out. I am really pleased with them, and it's hard to pick a favorite because I love all three of them. This little girl's adorable. This little girl's adorable. But I must say I'm partial to red. My husband likes the blue. It's hard to say. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Ring that bell so you can be notified when I upload new content. Leave a comment. Thank you, Pam and Luise, for hosting this challenge. Until next time. Bye, y'all.